The next Microsoft Excel skill for professional that we'll be looking at is the SUMIF and the SUMIFS feature. So this handy little Excel skill is a function that sums cells that meet specific or multiple criteria. So it's often used when adjacent cells meet criteria based on dates, text, and numbers. In other words, it's a way of sorting through data on a spreadsheet efficiently and summarizing it also. So supposing we want to find the units sold for these different regions, so we can do that using the SUMIF function. Remember, this is just a test data. All right, in ideal cases, you'll be working with hundreds to thousands of data. So what you just need to do in this case is, since it's one criteria, units sold, we use the SUMIF function. So equal to SUMIF, right? So select the function. I need to ask you for the range. So the range is actually the range where this particular region is. So you select the range, all right, then comma, then to ask you for the criteria. So the criteria is this Central America or whatever name of region it is. Then the sum range is, it's asking for the units sold. So the sum range is going to be taken from this units sold column. So I select that and I close it up and hit enter. So it gives you what? 11,025 pieces was sold. All right. So if it's units sold, it shouldn't be in dollars. So I'm going to format this as general, not currency. Okay, so 11. So this units sold should also be in general, all right? So it's when you have unit price and all that you now have in dollars. So once you done this, you just go ahead to drag it down and you should see this. Now, if we want to inspect our formula, just hold down Control and the tilde key, and we can see our formula and what is happening. All right, so hitting this, it will show you what is happening. But our answer in this case is not correct because if you notice, it's actually moving down. All right, it's following the rule of relative cell reference. So what we just need to do is to make sure that this range A2 to A9 and D2 to D9 is absolutely referenced by inserting the appropriate $sign. So how do we do that? Just select this range A2 to A9, hold down function F4 on your keyboard or F4 on your keyboard as the case may be, and your $sign will be inserted appropriately. So select this range also, hold down function F4 or F4 on your keyboard, and the $sign will be inserted appropriately. So I didn't select that correctly, so I'm just supposed to select this. So function F4 and the $sign will be inserted appropriately. So hit enter. Now you notice that I have 11,025, still correct, but this other ones is likely to change. It still remains the same, but that is the right thing to do, definitely. Now we can now go ahead to calculate the units sold of baby food. So we are looking at two criteria: the units sold, but it is so that the units sold is only for those that are selling what? Baby food. So in this case, you are going to use the SUMIFS function. So equal to SUMIFS. All right, so just select SUMIFS, then the sum range. The sum range is a numeric value. So select the value under units sold, so comma, then to ask you for the criteria range 1. So the first criteria is the units sold for this region, and we're going to select the region column, so comma. Now the criteria for this range is Central America and the Caribbean, whatever name is the region. So you hit comma. Then the criteria range 2 is under which column is baby food, is the item type column. So you select everything under that. Then the criteria for that is baby food. So I'm going to type in baby food so that I'll be specific, and I'm going to put it in speech marks. So make sure you type baby food just the way it appears in your table. So I'm going to close it up and close up this and hit enter. Now you notice that the units sold for those that are selling baby food is what? 552. How about this? So if you go ahead to drag down, it will notice that Asia actually sold 0, Europe actually sold 0, right? So let us go ahead to change this. Let us just copy this and paste it here for Asia. Let us see if it will give us a value. So now it's giving us a value because we've changed this to baby food. So suppose we'll just go ahead to also paste this. So Asia units for baby food also increases. Alright, so suppose we'll now for Europe, where is Europe? So suppose we'll just add this up. Notice that Europe will now have a value. But ideally, it's always advisable to reference this absolutely, okay, for your values. Because if you don't do that, look at what's going to happen. If you don't do that, once you come down, you will notice that your range of data also changes. Remember, there's nothing at this row 10, but it's actually looking it up. All right. So there's nothing in row 11, but it's actually looking it up. So make sure you reference this absolutely. Okay. So this range in particular. So just hit Control F4, then this range, Control F4, sorry, function F4. All right. Then this range, function F4. And you are good to go. It doesn't change your answer in any way. It just helps you to be safe. Okay, so having done that, I can still drag down and my answer is the same. So where it affects you is when you're working with large amounts of data. So you have to just do the right thing. Now, all these are skills that you must know as a professional. The SUMIF and the SUMIFS is actually major use for data summary. So the next one I'm going to be looking at is the COUNTIF and the COUNTIFS skill.